Yes, I've got you. When it comes to getting pregnant, pregnancy, postpartum, I've got your back. I'm here to encourage. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Precious. Yes, I've got you. When it comes to getting pregnant, when it comes to trying to conceive, when it comes to everything that has to do with pregnancy, postpartum, I've got your back. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to help as much as I can. If you don't know, my name is Precious and I'm a mom of 4. On this channel, I actually help you to understand that family relationship is a work in progress. So when it comes to everything that has to make family relationship to be a work in progress, I try as much as I can to encourage it. And getting pregnancy, postpartum is a real passion for me. So today I'm going to be talking about common mistakes people make when checking their cervical mucus. So if you don't know, I've made a lot of videos on how to check for ovulation, and using your cervical mucus is one of the things that you can actually use to check when you're likely going to be ovulating, or if ovulation is about to take place, and all of those kind of thing. You don't need to buy ovulation kits if you want to check for ovulation. You don't need to do all of that. You can actually use the natural method, the natural way God has made it to be, which is using your cervical mucus. But I've come to understand that there are people who tend to use the cervical mucus, but they don't monitor it properly. So now I'm going to be explaining the common mistakes that people make when checking for ovulation using the cervical mucus. Without further ado, let's get talking. So if you don't know, cervical mucus is the fluid that comes out of your vagina. First of all, I want to say that the vagina is an amazing part of the body. It's a beautiful part of the body, and it's self-cleansing. The vagina does not need you to wash it. The vagina does not need you to douche it. The vagina is self-cleansing. If you're going to be cleaning your vagina, you're going to be washing your vagina, you just need to run water around it, and that's it. You don't need to stick your finger inside to wash it. It doesn't require that. The reason is because the vagina is naturally acidic, which helps to avoid bacteria going in there. So if you begin to wash your vagina, you begin to douche, what happens is that you change the pH of your vagina, and that's going to make you vulnerable to having a bacterial infection or any form of infection that can go into your vagina. So during the time of the month when you're going to be ovulating, there's the hormone called estrogen, which helps to get your body basically ready. I always explain it in this way. There are 2 major hormones that helps in aiding ovulation. The first one is estrogen, and the second one is luteinizing hormone. Now, for you to have that discharge that comes out of your vagina, you need to estrogen will have to be the messenger basically to say, okay, now body, you need to start getting ready for ovulation. And one of the ways you will know that your body is getting ready for ovulation is the fact that you begin to have vaginal discharge, okay, which is called cervical mucus. The reason it's called cervical mucus is because that fluid is formed around the cervix, okay, the entrance to your to your uterus. So that part of your uterus, which is called the cervix, begin to form this kind of fluid, which is like egg white discharge. Now I'm going to be explaining at the end of this video the different types of discharge that comes out of your vagina. So I would like you to stick around to the end of this video to be able to know the times of the month and the type of discharge you're likely to expect. Also bear in mind that every time of the month there's a chance that something discharge is going to be coming out of your vagina, which is also a way of self-cleansing. So how do you what are the mistakes that people make when it comes to checking their cervical mucus, knowing the right cervical mucus, and to be able to maximize the time of getting pregnant? The first mistake people make is that they don't rub their fingers together. Now remember, I made a video about cervical mucus, how to check it, and one of the things I said is that for you to know that egg white consistency is what we are looking for during the time of ovulation. We have to put our finger into our vagina. Bear in mind your fingers or your hands needs to be really clean. So you have to wash your hands, put your finger into your vagina, and when you get it out, you have to rub your fingers like this. So you use your thumb and your finger, and you rub it like this. If it's slippery, it has to be slippery. Okay, that's one mistake people make. People don't rub it together to feel the consistency, to feel if it's sticky or if it's slippery or if it's just watery. People don't do that. So one of the mistakes people make is the fact that they don't rub their fingers together. So the next time you're going to check for your cervical mucus, you want to stick your fingers into your vagina and you want to get the fluid from it or the mucus from it, then you're going to rub it gently together. Rubbing it gently together is just to know the consistency, because what we're looking for is the egg white consistency, which is not watery, which is not tacky or sticky, but actually is slippery, a little bit slippery. Okay, so that's one mistake. Another mistake as well that people make when it comes to checking their vagina and cervical mucus is the fact that some people tend to check the consistency. Some people tend to check how it feels in the hand, but what people don't do is to stretch it. Okay, the egg white consistency we are looking for is supposed to be a little bit stretchy. Okay, it needs to be stretchy. The one that is the one that is tacky and dry is not even going to stretch at all. The watery one is just, it's not going to stretch, it's just going to break a little bit. But the egg white consistency we are looking for is going to stretch a little bit. So the first thing I mentioned is the fact that people don't rub their fingers together. The second thing is that the fact that they rub their fingers together, they don't stretch. Bear in mind, the egg white consistency that we are looking for needs to be stretchy a little bit. It needs to be stretchy for you to know that this is the right cervical mucus that we are looking for. Another thing as well that people mistake that people make is that they don't know the difference in terms of the vaginal discharge that they get. They don't know the difference. They don't know what the egg white consistency means. They don't know what the watery consistency means. They don't know what the creamy consistency and the sticky one consistency means. You need to understand if you're going to get pregnant using just cervical mucus as a way of knowing when you're likely to ovulate, you need to know what each means, because what we are looking for is the number 4 type of discharge. Okay, we have the one which is sticky, okay, sticky and tacky. The second one is the one which is creamy. The third one is the one which is watery, and the fourth one which we're looking for is the one which is like egg white, right? The egg white one we're looking for is not supposed to be smelly. It's not supposed to have color. It's just egg white consistency. So when I mean egg white, I'm talking about the part of the egg that is not the yolk. Take the yolk out of the egg. The consistency, the way it looks, that's what we are looking for. So understanding the difference of each of the cervical mucus or each of the discharge that comes out of your vagina is very, very important. Like I said, towards the end of the video, I'm going to be explaining to you what each discharge means during the time of the month. So the mistake that people make is not understanding what each of those discharge means every time they say it. Another mistake people make is the fact that they don't take notes. This word is so digitalized, if there's any word like that, that people don't write or take notes anymore. People make the mistake of not taking note of the time, of the day, of the dates, and not taking note of the appearance. They just say, oh, I'm going to remember. I checked it today and it was creamy. Oh, I'm going to remember. That's not true. As a mom, there are a lot of things that goes on in my head that I cannot even talk about. A lot of things that happens through the day that sometimes I even forget the simplest thing of where is the remote, where did I keep my phone, how much more remembering cervical mucus. So I would suggest that every time you check your cervical mucus or you check the discharge that comes out of your vagina, you want to write the appearance, what it looks like. Don't forget that there's one thing that we'll have in mind. There's one goal that we'll have in mind, and that goal is to make sure we're looking at egg white, looking for the egg white consistency discharge. That is what we are looking for. So if you take note of what you feel every time of the month, it gives you an idea, because it progresses. Like I said, it goes from sticky to creamy to watery to egg white, right? So every time of the month, when you feel your vagina and you get the discharge out, you'll be able to have an idea about what time of the month you are, and when you're likely to see the next discharge. that you're likely to have. Another thing you need to bear in mind is that when it comes to egg white consistency that we're looking for, it's not supposed to be smelly. If the discharge coming out of your vagina is smelly, there's a chance that you have infection. You need to get treated. If the discharge coming out of your vagina is the color is awful, I wish I'm going to find a typical sample of what you should expect, the colors you should expect. I wish I can find it. If I can find it, I'm going to put it on the screen. If I can't find it, then I would like you to go and read up on, so that you expect, you would know what you should be expecting in terms of the color, the appearance, and the smell. Every vaginal discharge that comes out should not be smelly. It might have different color depending on the time of the month, but it should not be smelly. If it smells, then there's a chance that you might be having infection. So go get checked. It may even not be an infection, but try as much as you can to get checked. Another mistake people make when it comes to using cervical mucus to check for ovulation is the fact that they begin to compare their own discharge with another person's discharge. Now, let us just make it clear. Everybody is different. There are people who have actually said that they don't experience egg white consistency and they get pregnant. There are people who experience it, they don't get pregnant. Everybody is different. Don't compare everything that we say, both what people say and doctors, medical practitioners say, is just a guideline or it's just a guidance. Everybody is different. Okay, so you may not even experience watery discharge. You may just get the creamy and the egg white consistency, or you may just get the dry, the one that is a little bit dry, and the egg white consistency. You may not have these different four types of discharge. That's just what I want to say. That you may just have 2, you may just have 3. Some people have 4. Some people don't even have as much as the 4. So you need to know what is going on with you. You need to know what is happening with you. I always advise women who are trying to conceive that understand your body, know what goes on your body, especially when it comes to the changes that goes on with your body. Don't forget that when it comes to getting pregnant, if you don't have sex at the right time, there's nothing that is going to make you be pregnant, unless it's a miracle. Getting pregnant has to happen at the right time, which is during ovulation. You don't have to wait until the day of ovulation to get pregnant. Please, you have 5 fertile days in the month to get pregnant. Make good use of it. If you're someone who your partner is always with you, or you're not in a long distance relationship and you can have sex every other day to increase your chances of getting pregnant, have sex every other day. I'm going to be making a video which I would like you to expect. I'm going to be talking about why getting pregnant is this difficult. Why is it difficult? Honestly, when I was growing up, I know there are people here and there who have problem with infertility, but the level at which people are not finding it difficult to get pregnant these days, I don't know if it's just me that is observing it. It's becoming very, very high. And there's something going on. Even with the fact that we have breakthroughs in technology, IVF, artificial insemination, a lot of things are breakthroughs when it comes to having kids, adopting, surrogacy. But there's still this high level of infertility. What is going on? I'm going to be talking about why this thing is becoming difficult. Expect that video. But for now, you need to know that the timing, when it comes to the cervical mucus, the timing is different for everybody. It's different for everybody. So don't take strictly how Precious does or checks her cervical mucus to check your own, because my timing may be different from your timing. Just like my cycle is different from your cycle, exactly the way my timing when it comes to cervical mucus is going to be different from yours. So we're all different. So don't get upset or don't get worried when somebody is having these 4 types of vaginal discharge and you are just having 2. Don't get upset. It might even be that you're having all 4, but you've not really taken your time to see if you're really having all 4. So do an experiment in a month where you decide to check your cervical mucus. Just maybe in a month or 2 or 3 months, see if you're going to have these 4 different types of the vaginal discharge. And let me know in the comment section if you're going to try this. Another mistake people make is not able to differentiate between watery discharge and egg white discharge. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes. Watery discharge is just like water. Okay, so this is water, right? It's not drawy. It's not drawy. I can't stretch it. Watery discharge does not stretch. Watery discharge is not slippery. The major difference is that it's not slippery and it's not stretchy. But egg white discharge is slippery when you do this finger test, and it's stretchy. Those are the two major ways you're going to know the difference. It's not stretchy and it's not slippery. For water, the one that looks like water, the watery discharge. But the egg white discharge is slippery and is stretchy. Very, very important. This is one mistake people make, that they think, oh, I just find this stretchy something. The stretch is because they saw it in their underwear, but they've not actually done the test of touching it and stretching it to make sure it's not a different type of discharge. These are the mistakes that people make when they're trying to check for ovulation using the cervical mucus. Now, I'm just going to give you a bonus point, which is I'm going to tell you the times of the month where you expect different things. This is just an average, right? This is not specific to a particular person. It's an average. Some people is going to be overlapping, some people is going to be outside of the time. Now, from day 1 to day 4, you're going to have a dry tacky discharge. It's going to be dry, okay, from day 1 to day 4. From day 4 to day 6, you're going to have a discharge that is still a bit dry, but is a little bit moist, okay? It's not as dry as day 1 to day 4. So day 4 to day 6 is beginning to get moist, okay? Day 7 to day 9, you now begin to have this creamy kind of yogurt kind of discharge that is going to be coming out of your vagina. From day 10 to day 14, you begin to have egg white kind of consistency. Then from that day 14 to day 28, and that goes back to dry, and from there you have your period. So I'm going to say it again. Day 1 to day 4, you're going to have a dry and tacky discharge. Day 4 to day 6, you're going to have a sticky but slightly damp and wet discharge, right? Day 7 to day 9, you're going to have a creamy egg white, a creamy or yogurty kind of discharge, and it's also going to progress to watery discharge. Then from day 10 to day 14, you're now going to progress from that watery discharge to egg white consistency, because that's when you're likely going to be ovulating. From day 14, this is a typical 28-day cycle, just to let you know. So from day 14 to day 28 again, then it now starts getting dry, and from there you have your period. So this is what happens in a typical 28-day cycle. If you have a 29-day cycle or anything outside of this 28-day cycle, yours is going to be different, just to let you know. So guys, these are the mistakes that people make when it comes to checking for ovulation using the cervical mucus. Like I said, if you want to get pregnant, you're only going to get pregnant within your fertile day, which is your 4 days before ovulation and the day of ovulation. Please, brothers and sisters, don't wait until the day of ovulation. Don't wait until the day of ovulation before you have sex. Don't wait until the day you see egg white discharge before you have sex. If you're disposed or if you have the time, your partner is with you, have sex every other day to increase your chances of getting pregnant. But above all, believe in God, trust in God. Like I always say, God is the one who gives. He's the one who gives. Everything we say is just to increase our chances. At the end of the day, God is the one who makes everything perfect. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, you enjoyed it, please press the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and also share to your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch all of my videos that are going to be popping on the screen, and also don't forget, once in a while, go on my channel, go through all my videos, just to show me some love. Thank you so much for watching. Be great, to be positive, and be yourself. See you on my next video. Bye for now.